back. You're ready for more. I got a cool little funk groove to show you. What we're going to do is we're going to take that 9 chord and we're going to turn it into what's called a sharp 9. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to D. So I'm going to put my middle finger on the 5th fret of the A string. And then I'm going to take my first finger and put it on the 4th fret of the D string. Ring finger on the 5th fret of the G string. But now I'm going to take my pinky and I'm going to put it on the 6th fret of the B string. And the high E, I'm just letting it be muted. You can let your pinky touch it to mute it, or your index finger to cross over and mute it. Listen to that. So this is a grittier chord. It's got more attitude in it. This also is used a lot by Jimi Hendrix. So a lot of times people refer to it as the Hendrix chord. We can call it that. It's cool. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what the official name is. It's called a D7 sharp 9. And that's what it's called, with the root right there on the 5th fret of the A string. Okay? And so we're going to go like this. Same, you're going to see my right hand, everything we were talking about. Here's what the groove sounds like. So you got to get used to that right hand. And then we're going to go da-da, 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 da-da. That's it. That's the groove. I'm going to do it really slow, break it down for you, and I want you to try and play along with me again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da-da, 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 da-da. Slow it down a little more. Da-da, 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 da-da. Just like that. So it's another rhythm, and I've heard that in lots of different songs. Literally straight, that exact same thing in multiple songs. It's really funky when you got the whole band in there, and you got the da-da, 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 ba-na, ba-na. Alright? So that's another really cool thing that you can add to your arsenal to try and get a little more funky. Alright? So let's see here. Now we're going to add some single notes into that 7 sharp 9 chord, Hendrix chord, whatever you want to call it. So let me show you a really cool device that will kind of add a little bass line to your funk grooves. You combine the hits of the chord with this little rhythm device. So here is what we're going to do, and this is always going to work, and this will actually work with a regular 9 chord too, but it works even better with the sharp 9 chord. Alright, so keep that in mind. The root is right there on the 5th fret of the A string. Just right there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do this. Just keep in mind where that root is, and we've got this little run right here, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Just right from what's called the blues scale. And then we have 3, 5 on the A string. Okay, then we have 3, 5 on the D string too. But then we also have on the 6th fret is this little blues note. So you can do this kind of thing. You can slide up and back, or 6 to 5 slide. 3, 5 on the A string. So what you can do is you can do this. Chord. So then I went 3, 5 on the A string. Check it out. Then I did 3 on the D string. So I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And you can improvise that little 3-string little run there. So some of those ideas, I just went up the 3, 4, 5. Right? I like this a lot, 3 to 5, but I hammer on the 5. And then 3. And then also, if you think of this as your blues scale, anytime you hit the 5th fret on the A string, play the chord instead of the note. You know, like... See that? So the initial groove we had was... See that? See that? So it's open to you interpreting it too, as well. Keep that in mind. Let me show you 2 more really cool devices. I've heard it a bunch of times. Here it is. You can go to the 2nd fret on the A string, the 3rd fret on the A string, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a... What I like to do is add the octave to it. What that means is, got my index finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. I'm going to add my ring finger to the 4th fret of the G string. Everything else is muted by my index finger. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a... That's a cool way to break up that groove. And I've had a lot of questions about people asking me about that little device right there. So check it out. I've got... And it wouldn't be a bad idea to practice some of those notes of that run. What I do is I let my palm kind of mute all the strings that I'm not pressing down on. So even if I was going for, I could actually, everything's getting muted by basically just my palm and my index finger, but I'm pressing down on the notes that I want. See that? hopefully you were able to soak up some of those devices. You know, this particular DVD that I'm teaching, a lot of this stuff I just, you know, just grab as much of it as you can, you know. I'm not necessarily teaching you how to play like all these different kinds of funk songs. I'm showing you all these amazing devices that people have taught me and that I've learned from listening to, like, you know, funk from the 70s and, you know, all my favorite kind of funky kind of stuff. So I'm giving it all to you, but like I said before, the most important thing is all the rhythmic feel. But the devices are there, so if you work on the devices, your feel will hopefully get better along the way. Have them both try and catch up to each other, okay? So just to recap what we've done, we started with a kind of a James Brown inspired like that, with a little bridge section. And then hits a whole step up. Right? That 9 chord. Utilizing the 9 chord, 16th note strumming all the time, and squeezing down when you want the hits of the chord in a very staccato manner, very short, choppy sounds. It's almost like a drum lesson. Then we learned another new chord, the 7♯9 chord, also known as the Hendrix chord. We played it in D, the D Hendrix chord, and we played this rhythm. Okay? Great stuff. Then we took that same chord and I showed you some single notes that will work with that. Octave thing. Okay? Let me show you another groove that is based around the D7♯9, but it employs stuff from the blues scale like we did, and some cool rhythms. Okay, it sounds like this. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a bass line. If a bass player was playing that same line with you, it really sounds cool. And then you add little embellishment chord ideas. So with the Hendrix♯9 chord, you know, the 7♯9, you have that little thing that we did already with the notes. But then you also have stuff like this. You can cover, since we're in D, but just make sure you can transpose this when you're playing this chord somewhere else. You know, the same fret that my root's on, the 5th fret, I can cover the 5th fret of the high E, B, and G string, and that's going to work. In there. Plus the blues note run. And then, instead of playing the voicing of the Hendrix chord this way, we're going to do this. Index finger on the 5th fret of the high E, middle finger on the 6th fret of the B, and you just play those two notes. And you give it a little, you just grind it a little bit like this. I'm just kind of pushing it up a little bit. I'm not doing that. I'm just, it starts to bend up and then I cut the note off. here's the groove. We're going to go 2 strums on the 5th fret of the A string, then 2 on the 3rd fret of the D string, and then back to 2 on the A string. So it goes like that. Try it. Ba-da, 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 sweet. Oh. Okay, now we're going to go ring finger on the 5th of the A string, index finger planted behind it on the 3rd, same string, and we're going to pull that off. So we have pull off. One more time, check it out. It's going to come right back to the 5th fret of the A string, and I'm going to hit that twice. Da-da, like that. So check it out. Rest. Okay, so here we go. Ba-da, da-da, da-da, rest. B-O, ba-da. Rest, rest, and da-da, da-da, da-da. B-O, ba-da. Rest, rest, rest. Ba-da, da-da, da-da. B-O, ba-ba. Rest, rest, rest. Ba-da, da-da, da-da. B-O, ba-ba. So we're immediately going to go to that little triad I taught earlier where our index finger is covered over the G, B, and high E string on the 5th fret. Down, up, so we got. Actually, just one down. Let's do it that way. Feeling that? Then we're going to go to that little double stop I taught. Index finger on the 5th fret of the high E, middle finger on the 6th fret of the B, 2, with just a little nudge. Check it out. Here's the whole riff. Okay, here it is 4 times in a row, broken down, and really slow. Here we go. Just check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and... Okay, then you can go up to the 4 chord, just like in the blues, which would be G9. Middle finger on the 10th fret of the A string, a G chord. Just down, up, down, rest, 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 rest. Back to the top. See? You can add other stuff. just like that. Hope you're digging that. Just keep soaking it in. The more you can play along with me on this DVD, the better off I think you'll be is just trying to keep up with me, okay? Even if you don't feel that funky yet, all right? Or you only smell funky, but you're not playing funky. I'm very familiar with that as well. So keep chugging along. We're going to get it going. Don't you worry, all right? Stay tuned for the next match.